Hey students, so let's start with our first lesson, that is Revolt of 1857. So in this chapter, we are going to divide this chapter into six subparts, which is economic causes, political causes, administrative causes, socio-religious causes, influence of outside events, discontent among sepoys. As you all know, that Revolt of 1857 was the first war against British Raj by Indians. It was the first, you can say, a seed planted so that it can take a form of a sapling and then of a tree. So, seed is the utmost important thing when we are expecting a big tree to grow. In the same manner, this mutiny, which ultimately failed but cannot be considered as a failure, so slowly and steadily, let's move on to the to this class. Economic causes. We are going to study all the causes why this revolt actually happened. So first is economics. What is economic? Economic is related to finances, that is money, right? So economic causes means money related causes are the reason why revolt of 1857 happened. What were the economic causes exactly? First of all, the draining of wealth. Draining means drain ho jana, right? So wealth means money was drained by British people to England. A. Then B, they were putting a lot of taxes on Indians. They were like a guest in our country, but suddenly what they are trying to do is they are trying to intrude or interfere in our money matters. So it was a passive anger in people of India that why people from outside India are trying to interfere a lot. So one of the main reason of this revolt was economic causes. Second would be political causes. Politics, we all know what is politics, right? So power and prestige, the growth of power and prestige of British India, East India Company was a major cause of revolt of 1857. British were again trying to interfere a lot in the political issues of our country. Now, you can assume that suppose you have invited some guest in your house and suddenly they start making changes in the kitchen, in your rooms. Suddenly they say, okay, let's move this sofa to somewhere else, let's shift the bedroom, let's do this, let's shift the kitchen, all the utensils, let's articles and everything. So you will be little pissed off that why they are trying to be the boss at the house, right? So this was the reason, one of the reasons why revolt of 1857 happened. Moreover, the kings were not really happy. Again, I have told you many a times that there were regional kings. When a major king dies, independent rulers grow, right? जब एक किंग जो मेन किंग होते हैं जिनका बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस होता है, अगर उनका इन्फ्लुएंस कम हो जाए, फॉर एग्जांपल उनके सन हैं हु इज़ नॉट अ वेरी कम्पिटेंट रूलर, तो हर जगह पे अपने अपने एरियाज़ में अलग अलग रूलर्स जो हैं वो ग्रो करना शुरू कर देते हैं. So the regional kings were not very happy. Again, they were interfering a lot. Here you can see we have studied about doctrine of lapse and subsidiary alliance. Both of them were again a main reason why the revolt of 1857 happened. Now comes our hero Mangal Pandey. In the middle of this picture you can see his picture. Now all the kings were united. They all having same problem and they were facing the same issues. For example, in classroom we discussed that if a child has a problem and the second child has the same problem and they're on 3, 4, 5, they all will have a similar mentality, similar notion and idea. So they will try to be with each other, guide each other right. In the similar way, the kings were unified at certain time. Now, administrative causes. Administrative होता है control करना, right? So what happened exactly was कि all the police, officials, and law and order. Everything was under British. Slowly and steadily, they created a web that everybody got connected. The police were corrupt, officials were corrupt, and law, in fact, was corrupt. So, poor man or middle class man in our country was very discontented, means not very happy with British Raj. Now, social religious causes. Social means social related to society. Religion हमें पता है धर्म होता है, right? So British, they were thinking that they were, more than society and more than religion as well. They were interfering in society as well, and religion they were intruding in. Racial overtones and superiority complexes characterized the British administrative attitude toward the native Indian population, which means that all the officer ranking were given to British people. And if Indians were given the rank, they were only those people who were very pleasing people to British, like uh, whom were serving the British people, so that they can get most of the benefit out of them. Then Christian missionaries means धर्म परिवर्तन जिसको हम बोलते हैं, they were trying to change their religion as well, not very directly but in a passive way. For example, there were certain systems followed by Hindus. For example, sati system. For example, uh, prohibition of widow remarriage. Widow, as we already discussed, जिसको हम विधवा बोल देते हैं, उनको allow नहीं था to marry again, right? But British intrude. They said that they have the right to get married again. Why to stop their life there? Whereas they were partially correct there, right? But in Indian culture, it was prohibited. Hindus, the very staunch Hindus, they were against it. So, according to that time period, it was a very huge problem for Hindus. They were thinking that their religion was taken for granted. Abolition of sati, support to widow remarriage, support to women's education, tax on mosques and temple lands, and Religious Disability Act 1856. They were all very interfering rules put on by British East India Company.